Another game in the SEC, because as we stick in the SEC, that kind of threw a wrench in things. Florida at home defeating Ole Miss after Jackson Dart threw three interceptions basically in a minute and a half. One of them got called back. What an effort this last stretch of games by Billy Napier and DJ Lagway. I mean, people were talking about already kind of penciling in DJ Lagway in the transfer portal, Billy Napier getting fired. The odds for Billy Napier to be the first head coach fired this football season was staggeringly high, up there with Dave Aranda, who also we'll talk about, that has a chance to have a Big 12 championship appearance. Okay. Unbelievable what this Florida team has put together. They're a talented football team. We talked about it in the preseason, right? The over and win total, we looked at that at 4.5. And we both said this team is so talented. There's no way that they win less than 4 games, right? But then you had the injuries at quarterback. Things started taking a turn, and just the way that they were able to turn that thing around, like not only like your out of conference schedule was pretty tough, but you were able to turn that thing around in the heart of your SEC schedule, right? In the heart of it, like playing against the team that was playing the best football probably in the country at the time, Ole Miss. If you really look at like power ratings and you follow that kind of thing, Ole Miss was playing damn good football, and Florida finds a way, man. DJ Lagway, that defense coming up big during the end of the game. The Swamp just proving again and again that it's a tough place to win. So, and all of a sudden for a couple teams that we're looking at that Florida win, you're looking at Texas as like, oh, people kind of penciling Vanderbilt as their best win of the season, heading into this Texas A&M game. It might be Florida now. Now they obviously played a walk-on quarterback in that game, but Florida all of a sudden becoming, as the weeks have gone on, maybe more like a quality win for some teams. Oh, CD, I think you're muted.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah, this game was interesting because you look at it on paper and you're watching the game and you're like, almost moving the football. What's going on? Why aren't they scoring? Obviously, they had 3 turnovers. They had 2 more fourth down stops. They were 3 of 14 on third down. It was on third and fourth down that Florida's defense won this football game. It was awesome to see. And on the opposite side, Lagway was incredible in certain spots here. 7 for 15 converting on third down for Florida did. And I know he wasn't perfect. I know he was only 10 for 17. He didn't put the ball in his hands too much because when you are running the ball well, like you did, getting Montrell Johnson back healthy, having him pair with a guy like Jaden Ball was awesome to see. But Lagway, what he did, his pocket mobility, his different arm angles, throwing under pressure, it was special. The guy that everyone has been talking about for so long as being a star quarterback played like a star. I know his stats don't wow you. I know it wasn't, 48 points that they put up, but he was special. And I said it all year. I said Graham Mertz gives this team the best chance to win, and maybe they would have won this game with Graham Mertz. But I will say TJ Lagway has been awesome. And battling back from that hamstring injury, battling back in his football game, it was such a good football game. It was so intense. And for Ole Miss was just a little bit worse than Florida was in these certain spots here on third and fourth down. And that was the difference in the ball game. And additionally, too, we talked about Ole Miss pushing their chips all in. We got our quarterback back. We got all these weapons. We're going to go get some offensive linemen, and we're going to go get some defensive linemen, and we're really going to, push all of our chips in the SEC here. However, he lost the guy in Quinshon Judkins. And I don't know if they would have made a difference in this football game, but here's another game where they have struggled to run the ball consistently with their running back, And on the road, it is so hard to do that. Ask Alabama, all right, what happens when you can't run the ball with your running backs? Because you put too much pressure on Dart. Dart had 41 passing attempts, 14 carries. He was their leading rusher by far, and he had the 2 picks. And he just couldn't play a perfect game because who can on the road against a talented defense, right, in a big spot here? So it's a shame for Ole Miss because, they're in a spot where they need some serious help. I don't know how far they'll drop. They probably have one of the best wins in the country against Georgia. However, what have you done for me lately? That's kind of what the committee has been, I think, historically. And it's going to be tough to shrug off this loss, late in November against a quote-unquote unranked Florida team. However, we know damn well there's a reason why we previewed this game is because this was absolutely a spot where Ole Miss could have got, and they did. I picked Ole Miss to win and cover, because I thought they were playing the best football in the country. I knew Florida was going to come out, swinging, and they did. Almost responded, but man, oh man, give tons of credit to Billy Napier and Florida. You talked about Auburn being a team looking at 2025 and being a team that's going to be competing for SEC championship games. I think that's going to be the expectation for Florida this year, as it should be, right? As it should be.